Hi, I'm Shane, and here on TikTok, I just finished reading my high school diary entries 35 years to the day they were written. It is now the summer after senior year, and we are doing bullet point updates to wrap up various plots and storylines. And this is your This Week in 1990 from July 26th to July 31st. If you saw last week's week wrap up, the last entry was just on an insert and it was really short. And then I was kind of surprised to find when I turned the page in the journal that the next entry actually covers part of July 25th. So this entry was technically July 25th and 26th, 1990. During the day, we go swimming at Molly's and then we go shopping. Michael comes back to my house. We watch Stand By Me and he stays for dinner. He and I bring my brother Andy, who was 3 at the time, up to 42nd Street rehearsal, where he is playing trombone in the pit, and I am just hanging around because all my friends are in the show. One of the older cast members in the show asks Michael if Andy is his son, and we have a good laugh about that. I bring my notebook to work at Denny's that night, and I write on break. Here's some of what I wrote. I can't wait until the banquet on Monday. Michael might wear the suit he wore in West Side Story. He looks good in it. He also looks good in a brown paper sack. Michael loves the Beatles. Did I tell you? He loves the Beatles like I do. He knows all the words to songs. The last guy I knew like that was Finn. Do you know the kick I get from hearing someone sing Beatles songs who can really sing? Michael's exact words to me were, I've worshipped the Beatles since I was a little kid. On July 27th, I get a letter in the mail from my future college roommate, and she has sent a picture, and I say that she looks cute. I am working and then going to the 42nd Street cast party. I write this. I can't wait. I hope I look good. I bought white lace capris and a white lace tank top to wear under the nightie that I wore to Depeche Mode. I can't wait to see Michael. The entry for July 28th starts by saying that I got home at 5 a.m., so it is actually 1 p.m. on the 29th. I write this. I was scheduled to work 5 to 12. Antoine was getting off at 11. I asked him to stay, and he couldn't because he had no ride. Then, at 7, he got one and said he could stay. I was so excited. At 11 o'clock, I fled. I changed in the car and went straight to Wendy's for the big bash. I entered slowly and didn't go running to find Michael. I sat in Wendy's room a while and then went out to the living room and sat down. In less than 2 minutes, he was right next to me. I know it's stupid, but I use baby tests like that to prove to myself that he likes me. We have a big Beatles sing-along that night, and I say that I keep trying to leave, but that something new keeps happening, and I just have to stay. At 4 a.m., Michael carries me on piggyback out to my car because I say I don't have any shoes. Don't know why. We stand outside the car and talk until 4:45, and I write this. I had asked him earlier if he could pick me up from work on Saturday, and he'd been undecided. I asked him again, and he got all weird. I don't know. I can't decide. Gosh, this is a tough one. Finally, he goes, do you want to hear a reason? I say, sure. He says, Kim wants to come and see the show tomorrow night. I laughed. He's seriously in a tizzy about it, though, which is good. We talked about her. I called her Kim the Bim in front of him. He hesitated, tried denying it, and then gave in. I asked, does she think you love her? Do you? He goes, which one do you want me to answer? I said, can I only choose one? He said, yes and no. Later in that conversation, I think I hear him say, the least you could do is stick around for my brother's wedding, and I get super flustered. I end the entry like this. When I got home, the paper was on the porch. I didn't bring it in, for Mark and Jean's sake. On July 29th, Michael says that Kim is indeed coming to see the show that night. He said it's not only my presence that is an issue, but that she just is sort of out of place with this summer crowd that we've kind of cultivated. I say that if she doesn't show up, he should come up to Denny's, and I say that I'm planning to go to the cast party that night when I get off work at 12. Then later on, the entry continues in a different color pen. This next part of the entry is me writing in my car, sitting outside the house that the cast party was supposed to be at. It reads, holy cow, I am outside of Sally's now. The party has yet to begin. No one is here, but as I pulled up, another car pulled next to me. Guess who was in it? Dean! All he told me was how beautiful and skinny and tan I look. He is like a self-confidence boost from God. He started his I love you talk, and I said, don't start with me. I say that I got out of work early and drove to the party, and I hope that Michael didn't come over to Denny's to see me. The entry continues then in another color pen. I am now home. It is 3:15 a.m., and I write that Michael did come to the party with Kim the Bim. This part reads, While the bim was in the bathroom, Michael told me that she said I rub her the wrong way because I am the type he would go for. I take a lot of heat from people at that party, mostly like grown-ups who are like, oh, I thought you were with that guy. Oh, now he's here with another girl. What actually is going on? And I mention this to him and he gets pretty snippy with me. He apologizes in fairly short order, but I say I still feel like a pretty big dope. On July 29th, I shop, I cry, and I feel a little sick, like I'm letting myself be blown off. I say that I'm being forced to play second trombone, which is so dumb because he played trombone. So stupid. I talk about a party trick that Finn and I invented the previous night at the cast party, wherein I would tuck a wine cooler bottle between my breasts and squeeze them together and, oh, that's a terrible angle, do a back bend and drink the drink. Haven't done that one in many years. Later on, in a different color pen, on break at work, I write this. I want Michael to be so sorry and feel all bad. I wonder if he only felt bad last night because he was drunk. I also wonder if they went home and had sex. I forgot to tell you that last night, when I was standing by Giovanni, I heard Kim the Bim say, well, when we get married. I looked at Michael with an, oh yeah? Look? And he knew I heard and started to laugh when he saw me. I say that I'm going to have to look absolutely amazing at the banquet, as if that will be the thing that wins him over and, nails it down. The entry continues later on in a different color pen. I say that I called Martin from work and he wasn't home, but I really feel like he could be the person that can help me work all this out in my head. On July 29th, I say Michael never came into work, and then I think that maybe he is using me to hurt Kim. Then the tone switches and I write this. I was moved this morning. Mark was leaving for Ray Meyer basketball camp, and he came in my room and gave me a big kiss and a hug. I already miss him. The entry continues. I felt quite unwell in the morning. Jason called. I was bored and he was too, so we decided to go dress shopping at Ridge. Looking, finding, and buying really cheered me up. The dress is awesome. It looks like this. Only a lot cooler. It is black with gold buttons. When I dropped Jason off, he said, good luck tonight. I know you'll look awesome. He's a really swell guy. I call Hannah, who tells me not to call Michael, but I do, and tell him to pick me up for the banquet. He says he'll be there between 6 and 7. I am ready at 6:55, and he shows up at 7:15. I write about talking to Michael at the banquet. I began thinking of Kim saying, when we get married, and I started to laugh. He asked what was funny, so I told him. He said, I don't think she thinks we're getting married anymore. I just looked at him for a minute. You told her? He did. He did. He told her. The banquet is fun. I drink a bunch of sloe gin fizzes and we dance a ton. A lot of people give Michael grief, like, oh, doesn't look like the girl you're with the other night. We go to an after party and then back to my house, and I write that I am in love. On July 31st, I have lunch with Annabelle, and then we go to the cemetery and sit for a while at Lynette's grave, which at that point still did not have a headstone. I say how much I'm going to miss Annabelle next year. I go home and get ready for work. Michael says that he might come up to Denny's, which was the commercial slogan at the time for Denny's. I'm working with Antoine and Mary, and Antoine drops trow in the middle of the restaurant, and he's wearing pink jockeys, and I think it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Hannah has said that she and Steve might come in for dinner that night, but they don't. Gabby calls me at work at 11 and says that she was with a bunch of people and they went to the movies and that Michael is on his way to Denny's, so he shows up. I do think it's super funny that people had my work number memorized and they were out and they would call me from a payphone at the number of the Oaklawn Denny's. That just seems so bonkers to me. After work, Michael and I go back to my house and we watch A Christmas Story, and I say that I love his sense of humor. I write this. He said, you looked really pretty when you were sleeping, and kissed me on the cheek. Then he goes, how come you never look that good awake? I rolled. All right, y'all, that was your week in review. I will see you real soon, and we will do the poll of which ex-boyfriend got punched in the face at my wedding. Take care.